Raisin bread is delicious, but I think we can take this one step further with our California Raisin Focaccia.
The first thing we want to do is mix our dry ingredients together. So today we're using some instant dry yeast, but you could also use some active dry yeast. If you're using active dry yeast, you just have to bloom it in water first. Here we can actually mix this straight with the flour. Once that's well incorporated, we'll mix together our water. Once your salt is properly dissolved with water, we can go ahead and very slowly drip that into our flour mix. Once it starts forming a loose ball, that's your sign to basically start adding the oil. When you have something that looks like this, you're pretty much good to go. Now, this is not a dough that you really need to work and need to develop all the gluten, because we will be doing like a delayed rise in the fridge overnight. Now to just get it ready for the fridge. So get a nice bowl out, use some really good quality extra virgin olive oil, and that's gonna cover the bottom part of the pan. Oil your hands just a little bit so it makes it easier to kind of handle, and then plop in your dough ball. And just for good measure, a little more oil on the top. This goes into the fridge for a minimum of 8 to 10 hours and can stay in there for about 24 hours before you actually do the second rise. If you're looking to kind of reduce your sugar consumption, or you don't want to add kind of processed white sugars or brown sugars to the dishes that you love to make, using California raisins as a substitute is such a great idea. Not only because I love the flavor of California raisins, but also because they're actually just naturally sweetened by nature. Not only are they packed with good nutrition for people of all ages, but they're so versatile. You can use them in beverages, in smoothies, in desserts, and all your favorite savory dishes. Anything that needs that natural sweetness, California raisins are the raisins for you. And one day later, we're pretty much good to go. What I like doing is oiling my hands a little bit, just to ensure nothing sticks. And now we're just gonna perform a series of lifts and folds. So what I'm doing here is just stretching the focaccia. If it's a little tough to kind of handle, what you can do is let it rest about 10 minutes because it came from the fridge, so it might be a bit cold, might be a bit seized. And we're just trying to stretch this out as much as possible into our pan. There's a lot of oil happening here. We're gonna add another layer of oil right on top before we actually let this proof for a second time. So now we're gonna let this rest for 2 hours. After 2 hours, you should be good to go. If you have any large bubbles or anything, feel free to kind of push those down. Look at that, you should have something nice and soft and something that responds well to your touch. Remove your plastic completely. And then we're gonna spread olive oil all over our bread. Then you want that olive oil to kind of pool and stay on top of the bread. So that's where we're gonna make little dimples with our fingers. And then for a little bit of crunch, some salt. All right, that goes in the oven. That looks beautiful. While that's cooling off a little bit, we're gonna make our quick little sauce. One of my favorite dips in the world is a mixture of just really good extra virgin olive oil and balsamic vinegar. I thought it'd be really cool here to rehydrate our California raisins with some balsamic olive oil, and then mixing all of that with our extra virgin olive oil. And that for our bread dip, I think is gonna be absolutely magic. This is exactly what I look for in a focaccia. I hate the really kind of like big ones. I like some crunch in there, some crispiness. Beautiful. Look at that color. That color is absolutely gorgeous. You want kind of like that deep golden brown. This is the way I do it. Take this, dip that into our balsamic vinegar, California raisins, and extra virgin olive oil. That's so good. It's a perfect combination of crunchy, chewy,
and it just soaks up all that flavor.
You need to try this.